Hello everybody, my name is Tinukin and welcome back to ZAWA. I'm standing here in front of that old monastery that we built last time where I have my breeding facilities and I've been busy doing some breeding. Although right now I don't have any animals in there, I need to be careful to pack them away each time when I'm done breeding them so that they don't accidentally die. But I did do at least a little bit of interior decorating for now. I have a lot of storage here for all the kinds of foods that I need, the kibble that I need for taming the animals, but I need to put some signs up so I know what is where. And then down here I have my hatching room. So some animals lay eggs, like the turtles, for example, and then you can put the turtle eggs or any other eggs inside here. And if you have some charcoal, they will be incubated, and these ones are completely incubated, and now you can basically use them like you would a spawn egg and just hatch the animals inside. But I think it's actually quite convenient to keep them in egg form for now. Although the first ones that I hatched, actually, I got some nice color variants. I should show that to you at some point. And then down here, this ugly looking thing is my automatic potion brewer, which works quite well. Although it took me quite a bit to make this work, and I tried to build this into the wall a little bit so it wouldn't be quite as in the middle of the room and ugly looking, but that messed with the redstone, so it didn't work. But now it's, well, that apparently didn't work. Let me check. Okay, well, it's broken again. I will have to fix this later. It did work at some point. I did make lots of potions already. But to be honest, I haven't been needing them too much. There haven't been any instances where the animals got hurt where they didn't immediately die, but let's not talk about those. A few unfortunate things happened, but I'd just rather not talk about it. Anyway, today I want to build a new exhibit, and first I want to show you some of the new layout that I've done. So I've been working on just general terraforming and doing layouts because, as you know, the layout for the zoo is quite complicated because I want to have rivers everywhere, I want to have boulders everywhere, and then of course you need paths and you need exhibits, and there needs to be a certain balance between these things. So it's not super easy to do, but basically we have a little river here that comes from the water that comes down from the capybaras, and those capybaras, they tend to just get stuck there, unfortunately, and sometimes I need to take a lead and just lead them back into the middle of the enclosure. But we now have a little bridge that goes over here and over there as well. And I laid out some future exhibits as well. So as you may know, all the exhibits that I've built so far are rodent exhibits, except for the rabbits, which technically aren't rodents, but very closely related. And here, for example, we have the guinea pigs, those cute little critters. And up there we have the capybaras. And there are still 2 rodents in this game that I want to build exhibits for. And there's a third one that maybe we'll get. And this is what that place is for. And if we don't get it, I will need to think about something else to put here. But there is an add-on that we don't yet have on the server, which has chinchillas in it, and that would be really cool. But apart from that, we are still missing the hamsters and the rats, and those are both really small animals, and so I wanted to make some very small exhibits for them, and that is what this rather big boulder is for. So the path goes through here, and I thought that on either side of this path we could have an exhibit on the one side for the hamsters and on the other side for the rats. They're not going to be super huge exhibits, as you can see, but I don't think we will need that for these kinds of tiny animals. If you think about the size that these exhibits would usually be in an actual zoo, I think they would actually be a lot smaller, so I think we will be fine. So today we're going to make an exhibit for the hamsters that we bred last time. Remember, our hamster mom got 5 little babies, and I said that hamsters are usually solitary animals, and therefore the only way to get more than one realistically in an exhibit is if you put the mom with all her babies in there, and that's what we're going to do. So I think I want to put the hamsters on the left side, which is a little bit smaller than the right side, because I think for the rats I want to put our larger group of rats inside, and so they're going to need a little bit more space. Then instead of fences, we're going to have glass windows, and so I think the ground is going to be on the same level as we are here with the path. I think that should work well, and then maybe we'll bring it in a little bit from like either side so that it isn't quite as wide, but like almost. We'll see when we get there. I don't think it's going to be quite as tall either, so let's bring in this side a little bit. I think this actually makes a nice curve like this. What do we think? And then I need to figure out how I want to do the ceiling here. Probably going to use some slabs and stairs to get a more natural curve over here. And then, of course, I need to texture all of the stone with some of our other block types so that it doesn't look quite as plain. So over here, I also want to bring this in a little bit. And another reason I want to do that is just basically, I don't want it to look like this boulder is just like a hollow shell, which currently it is. Rather, I want it to look like there has been something hollowed out, but the boulder is still more or less solid. It's not, we know that, but that's what I want it to look like. All right, what do we think about that? I think that should work. I hope that it doesn't look too squashed as soon as we put the ground in. So maybe let's do that next so we can see. So first of all, let's start with our usual way to make the edge of an exhibit. And now let's talk about the ground. So the Eurasian hamsters, which these are, commonly live on farmland. And so it would be really cool to like take a hoe and make some extra farmland in here. But I am very worried because if you remember, we had some issues with the baby guinea pigs dying on the path blocks because they're not a complete block and there's some kind of bug with like very small animals and those kind of blocks, and the farm blocks are also not complete blocks, and so I'm worried that they will die, so I will have to do it somewhat differently. So if we take some of that dark oak mulch, I think we can make that look kind of like farmland, and then we just need to see what kind of plants we're going to grow on there, but I think we can make it work. So maybe we can make it look kind of like the edge of a field, and then over here we're getting to a more like grassy area. So let's mix in some coarse dirt here at the edge a little bit. And then we fill the rest with grass. Nice. Yeah, and I think that still looks pretty good, but we of course need some decoration on the walls. Can't just leave it like this. So I think we've got a good basis for the exhibit, but before we go any further with this, I think it's time to take care of the outside of this huge boulder. There's a lot of texturing to be done and planting plants everywhere, as you know, and maybe even a tree up there, or maybe even 2 trees up there. I think this calls for a time lapse. So, unfortunately, these trees are not really working out the way I was hoping they would. I was kind of hoping for like, I don't know, in my mind I was seeing something like one of the trees leaning to that side and the other to that side. But of course, that's not how the dynamic trees grow. And so it just looks like basically like one tree that is just split in the middle. So I'm going to have to remove and replant. So these are gonna go. And then I think I'm just gonna put one of the purple ones here, just smack in the middle. One tree, which immediately starts growing. And then I'm just gonna help it out with some bone meal as far as I can. And so I've noticed that eventually, if you've put enough bone meal on them, they will just stop growing from the bone meal somehow. So they still like they're still changing their leaf configuration every time you touch them with the bone meal, kind of. But what you can see here is that the tree trunk size is still changing. So next, this part is going to be as big as this one. See? And then soon the next layer down there is going to start changing. Yes. But eventually this stops. This is how I noticed that it's no longer growing, when the size of the tree trunk stays the same. But I have the feeling that afterwards it still continues growing. It's just that the bone meal doesn't really do anything anymore. And this is why I originally thought you needed to have more dirt around it, because I think that does actually influence how much bone meal you can put on them, or how much you can get them to grow with the bone meal that you put on. But anyway, all my other trees have continued growing and have continued filling out, even after I stopped being able to make them grow with the bone meal. So I'm just hoping that it's the same with this here. And yeah, as we can see, now it's no longer changing. Next, this level of the tree trunk should get as big as this one, but it's not. So I think... Oh no, it is still changing. All right. False alarm. Well, but now I think it's really actually not changing anymore. So let's just leave it like this. And then in a couple of weeks, depending on how much time I have to play, it's hopefully going to look much like that one over there. So while I was doing the time lapse, I was thinking a bit about hamster habitats. And one thing that I was thinking about is that I read that they usually have quite an extensive network of underground tunnels that they live in. They are a burrowing animal, and so I think I want to kind of incorporate that in here. I want to raise the terrain here so that I can have a tunnel that is visible from the outside through the glass. So I'm just wondering what I'm going to make this out of. Do I want to use some mulch, or do I want to use just dirt? But the problem with dirt is that it's really ugly. But the mulch is not much better looking, except for the dark oak mulch, but I'm already using that for the farmland. So yeah, I guess dirt it is. Yeah, so here would be the entrance, and then we would have a layer of dirt on top, like this. And then I guess I'm gonna close this off here in the back. Yeah, because I don't really want the animals to go up there, because we wouldn't be able to see them anyway when they're back there. So now just to add, yeah, a few more blocks to make it look more like natural terrain. Now I wish I could switch those blocks with... Oh, I can switch this block with dirt. How about the other ones? Oh, I think I can switch them too. I wasn't sure if we would already reach the outside here. But yeah, I think that's much better. The grass will go, and then it will all be fine. I think some podzol could look cool inside here, right? Right? I think that actually that's a lot better. Makes it look a little bit like they put some nesting materials down, which would make sense. Yeah, I like that. I need to move the lighting to, I guess, up here. Like this. Yep, we're getting there. Okay, so now I need a couple of leaves to just cover up some of that stuff up there. Yeah, I don't want them to be able to go up there, and it just adds some nice flair, I guess, over here as well. A lot better than just having the naked walls. Now, about what I want to plant over here. Like I said, I can't put any actual vanilla Minecraft crops on here, but I do have this prairie grass, which kind of looks like grain. And the other thing is I have this barley. Oh, but that is quite tall. Oh, but it looks really good, like actual grain. So yeah, this is pretty dense and pretty tall, which means that we won't be able to see the hamsters very well while they are in between there. But I mean, I guess I think that's actually okay if they have some hiding places and we kind of can see them like flit in and out. I think that's pretty good actually. But also I don't want this to be like a super well kept kind of field. So I also want some weeds growing in between there. And by weeds, I mean flowers, of course. And one kind of flower that you often get in or next to cornfields are cornflowers, at least in Europe. I don't know. Do you have those in the Americas? And the other thing are those legumes. And they remind me a lot of alfalfa. I think that's probably what they're supposed to look like. And alfalfa is a very commonly used cover crop because it's really good at putting nutrients back into the soil. And therefore, you can often find it in agricultural areas. I think that's one too many legumes, so maybe I'll just put some grass there. Yeah, naturally on the edge of a field, of course, you would just have a lot of grass and maybe a fern. Maybe this is actually an opportunity to use some long grass too, because I use the short grass. Yeah, so I think I've got pretty much every block of this planted up except for this one and of course the ones in there. So I think I need to put the glass in and then put the animals in. There's nothing else left to do. Okay, the glass is in and I've locked myself in here. There's a hole in the glass left that I can get out through using an ender pearl. And I have all these animals on me. So this is the one family that we got when we were breeding. That one hamster mom had 5 babies, and that's how I got the idea to put them together in an exhibit. But to make sure this works, we need 2 things. First of all, we need a release form for the mom, this one here, where I'm listed as the zookeeper, and I'm going to do that first. And then next, we need baby formula, which is a new item, and I really love it. And I'm really excited to try it out because it makes sure that the animal will stay a baby forever. So I'm just going to have a huge issue with them if they run back there, because then I won't be able to reach them with the hitboxes of these things. So let's just hope that this goes well. I need to be quick with the release form for the mom. Yes, I think I got her. This is a wild animal, yes. Okay, she's exploring. And then next, I really hope that the babies are going to stay close to her because that's going to look so cute. Okay, baby number 1. Oh no, do I have to have multiple tries? Oh, then I didn't bring enough baby formula in that case. Okay, I need to go and get more baby formula. I don't have enough. Okay, I've got 16. I hope that's enough. Hi, I'm back. Okay, so far they're staying together. Ah, that's wonderful. Next baby. Come on. Another baby. More babies. Get out of that flower, please. Oh, this one took a few. And the final baby. Okay, I think they are all forever babies. Oh my god, look at them. Ah, that's so cool. We have mom running around here with her 5 babies. That is so cool. That is really cool. I just hope nothing happens to them. They are so tiny. They are so incredibly small. So I think I'm going to keep a really good eye on them in the beginning, but I do have some more hamsters in case something happens. So it will not be a total disaster if something happens, but I would still be sad. So let's hope. Look at that. She went into the cave and now they are all following. Oh, this is the best thing ever. I love this so much. Look at them. Yeah, I have to say I'm really ridiculously excited about this. This is so cool. I think I'm just gonna stand here for a while longer and just stare at them. Because even though this exhibit is really small, I think this is the best thing that I have built yet. I have some baby formula left and I'm going to make more and I'm going to use it, I think, pretty much for every exhibit. I want some baby animals in every exhibit. What do you guys think? Is that too much? Is that excessive? Or do we want all the babies? All the babies everywhere. I think the zoo needs a lot more babies. But this is it for this episode. Thank you all very much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Maybe leave a like if you did. And I'm going to see you in the next one. Bye bye.